This is Jackson Argos, and you're listening to Wrestling Cheers, the most cheerful moment of your day because, of course, you're listening to Jackson Argos. Thank you.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
And welcome back to Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially when it's your last appearance at AIW. And we are brought to you by the brand new TrendingTopicsNetwork.com and NEO Sports Insiders. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Wrestling Cheers on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. And email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. And of course, head on over to whatamaneuver.net and pick yourself up a Wrestling Cheers t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, onesie, whatever. Help support the show, help support us. Please do that. Also, like I said, rate, review, subscribe. And also, I want to throw out, every so once in a while I get feedback from people, and I never really talk about it on the show. I thoroughly enjoy it every single time. It helps me through those moments when I don't necessarily want to do it or whatever, but the fact that there's people out there and our numbers are getting a little higher and higher, I don't dwell on them a whole hell of a lot, but it is something that I do pay attention to. So thank you for all the kind words I've got received probably over the last month from people at shows and whatnot. So thank you very much. And who am I? I am Heavy Set, and Wrestling Cheers completely went over the fact that, we talk about shows going on in the Northeast Ohio area. We review them, preview them. Sometimes we have interviews too. So this is the last show for, not me, but for Ray Rowe and AIW. This is Death Row. We got to talk about his final appearance and what could actually be his final show period on the independent scene, but we'll get into that shortly. And this week I am joined by a man who can stay up later than most because I'm on a different work schedule this week, maybe the next couple weeks, but we have Ed Battis back again.
Yo, what up?
Yeah, your name got dropped an awful lot last week.
Yeah, fuck all of you. You bastards. Really should have been on that one. Would have been able to defend myself.
I thought it turned out just fine. Like, I wanted to get just a different bunch of opinions. Like, granted, you would have been in it too, but I felt like the four of us were a nice range already. But it seemed like oh, Ed's not here, so we're just gonna make fun of him.
Yeah, and every time you talk to Podvan Ed, I kept on to hearing you say Ed, and I'm like, oh, what? Oh, no, just Podvan, young Ed,
young Ed.
And then I also wanted to be on to be the one person that wasn't verbally guzzling Nick Gage's dick, but that's a whole nother story.
I actually meant to send you everything and be like, what are your picks for everything? Do you have any off the top of your head that you would just you want to throw out?
Yeah. As I said on Twitter, my show of the year would have been the Class show.
Rager 2, yeah.
Blue. Yeah. Wrestling Rager 2. That was my show of the year. My wrestler of the year would have probably been Dom, and my newcomer of the year would have been Filthy. So I would have added in with the Filthy. Match of the year, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head. Everything kind of just goes together. But I know that, at least on the internet, the big one was the multi at Gauntlet. So it definitely wouldn't have been anything with Absolution, on the main of Absolution, or any main title changes. As I have noted before, I don't care right now about the Absolute title that much. Sorry.
Who would have been your special guest of the year?
Well, a lot of you guys were saying special guests, and they were absolutely they did nothing. Literally, they might have shaken your hand and that's it, with like an Arn or a Dean. So I don't see that as a special guest at all, compared to somebody like a Booker, who I can't stand Booker T, but he actually came in the ring later on and did something. That, to me, fulfills my criteria of special guest. So Sid, like you guys said, Sid very well could have been, but he wasn't. So in that case, I will go, because he did do a meet and greet and he did wrestle on a show, hitting both my criteria. Justice 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, a special guest is someone who gets advertised, and normally it's like the first person that they mention that gets thrown out when the event gets promoted. For example, maybe not the best example, but the Emma show, Tennille Dashwood's going to be, that's a special guest. I mean, it would fit your criteria of also wrestling. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, that's going to be another, special guest. When Rulers of the World was announced, it was Sid, Absolution, Arn. It just, whenever they're like, all right, this is the show, and the person that they throw on the flyer to try to get people in, and who's normally just don't really show up to AIW that often or at all, that's what I consider.
Yeah, but as a meet and greet person, it's just like whatever. It's a throwaway at 7:30 or 7:45 or 8:30, whenever the fucking show actually starts. They're done, and it does. Terry Funk is the absolute perfect special guest ever. There you go. Ever.
And
nothing will top it.
And what sucks, that was a couple years ago.
Right. A lot of shit's been coming up lately. I'll see it on like social media, and I'm like, oh shit, that was that long ago. Like, how long? It's insane how long we've actually been at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Even though it seems like still such a short amount of time, but it's actually been a few years, which is nuts.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years this event, right?
No, 3 years Rulers, because Charge It to the Underhills was the end of 2014.
Was that the Eddie Hero match?
I believe so. I know Hero was there, Hawkins was there.
Yeah, I think that was it, because I yelled at Hawkins. I said I'd rather have Ryder here, and he yelled back, and then I yelled at the Mets suck, and go Yankees. So yeah, probably that. Yeah.
The thing that I think of when Kurt Hawkins, before I forget, was whatever J-Lit that he was in, and it was like, all right, here's one of my tag team partners or something, and a lot of people like, oh, Ryder, ha. I was like, Tyler Rex, and he gave me like a, holy shit, did you say Tyler Rex? Like, you remember that? And I was like, hell yeah. Mainly because I loved Tyler Rex's theme.
I like Tyler Rex's look, but I did also, I loved the bootleg stuff that they put on YouTube, like the animated things. That was pretty fun. I'm actually looking up something real quick.
I don't necessarily count people that if they don't, show up in the ring, that they weren't guests of the year. Like Scott Hall, I thought was a great guest. Because I feel like it was just like, oh my god, fucking Scott Hall, one of my absolute favorites early on in life of being a pro wrestling fan.
Right. I feel ya. I'm actually looking up let's see here.
Well, while you're looking up that, did you have any predictions for Gauntlet for the Gold and J-Lit? Your prediction winners.
Filthy will win one of them for sure.
Which one? Because that was I think all of our mindset was Filthy's going to win one, but which one is it?
Filthy wins Gauntlet, Dom wins J-Lit. I think you see a pattern going here with my love for my my dudes that
yeah, that's what I say.
That have the graps. Yeah, Eddie Kingston, Chris Hero. That was that first Mount Carmel show then.
Yeah.
When was Hell on Earth? Turner's. Okay,
Hell on Earth was Turner's. That had one of my favorite matches that you can now find on YouTube. And I was Ethan Page. He mentioned it on his podcast. Rockstar Spud versus Marion Fontaine.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, because Spud did a clinic beforehand, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But the Charge to the Underhills is the night that Worldwide got the most drunk ever, and he was just yelling at Hero on how fat he was, and like it was really bad. He doesn't like that to be brought up, but oh well, it's going worldwide. Oh, and I got a certain monster beverage right here that I'm gonna crack open. Here's up to my fellow ultraviolet boys.
I'll go to my fridge and I'll pop open a Mad Dog. Props to the real, better grape flavor Mad Dog. Oh
yeah, well,
mine were imported
so
straight
fuck
from
off.
Canada. I'll say mine were imported straight from Canada.
Yeah, you're like one of those bitches that still has Four Locos, like Thorne has stuffed away somewhere.
No, I just had friends come down from Canada.
Oh, I know. I don't care. I just want somebody. If somebody can find Ghost, get me Ghost, because that was best. And Mike versus Philly can definitely agree to that. I got him on that shit. It was the best. A Speedway only.
Yeah, I remember the speed of that one. I thought it was okay.
The aftertaste was the best.
How do you feel about Chaos?
I'll drink it. I don't hate any of them really. I don't think.
I mean, I liked because I kind of got away from. I was always drinking like Chaos. There's a new one that just came out too. I forget of the juice. I liked most of the juice ones, but with me recently finding out I was diabetic, I was like, maybe I need to go with the ones that have no sugar. So
I don't give a fuck because I got those pills, yo. I'm on those diabetes pills.
Well, I don't have those pills yet. I don't go to the doctor. I don't go to my specialist until next week because it took forever to get in. Anyway,
we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah. The last thing that we talked about that you weren't here, and it's funny that it's been 1 week and now we have got official word, but who will be signed at the end of 2018? I had said no Candace and no Rowe, and now, like I was saying 1 week later, both have officially signed with WWE.
Yep, pretty stoked. Especially since Candace is the better of the wedded Gargano couple.
It's kind of funny though because these two signed, same time, and they both have a significant other who are both currently in WWE, and those two signed close to the same time too.
Yeah, kind of.
I think there was a little bit. I mean, this was like they both got signed, report or whatever. It's like same shit. The news broke the same day officially from WWE, but Dobson and Gargano they were roughly the same time.
Right. In
between those two and also Heidi.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So who are you? Who do you think is going to be signed by the end of 2018?
I'm trying to think here. Wait, did you say who did you guys say? I forgot.
Oh shit, it's been a week.
Oh god.
I think someone said PB, but I was like, I think that'll be another year, like maybe by the end of 2019.
I don't know if they give much of a fuck about tall guys right now, since they have so many of them already.
True. But then again, things can open up by the end of 2019.
You mean 8 by the beginning of 2019?
I was saying with him that I don't think it's going to be this year.
Oh, yeah.
That it's going to be, it'll be by the end of next year.
Right.
So like 2020, beginning of.
So we're going with somebody that is an active member on the roster?
I would say.
Or are we just going in general?
I think in general. Oh, I think Ed said Ethan Page.
Of course he did. Because he was coddling his balls at the same time he said that. See? Oh, I gotta get all you fuckers back.
Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head.
Trying to think. Signed by the end of the year. I have a good one, but I can't because it's too good. Trying to think who else.
Another one was Britt.
Was who?
Britt Baker.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, because you can't go with women because they've sucked up every single woman for the most part, besides Britt. They've sucked up at least all the vets.
I mean, as of right now, like how many former? There's like 3 former champions in a row that are now signed with WWE,
and one current.
Oh yeah, technically in one. I was actually counting her as one of the 3.
Right.
The only recent champion that has, since AK that has been signed is Veda. I should have put her that she would be signed by the end of the year, but I don't know.
What the fuck's the last thing she did? I mean, I saw following her on socials, but has she done anything lately?
I mean, after she left Ring of Honor, she's been kind of doing shit here and there. But this year, beginning of the year, she did go to Japan for, I don't know if it's just DDT but I think DDT maybe Stardom.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that because I don't follow Stardom that much. But I do want to say there was like a spot with her, bunch of other wrestlers, and Joey Ryan. And I'm going to say that was DDT. And I think she's going back soon to Japan, and she's going to England. Like, she's busy the first 4 months of this year already doing international shit. I don't know if she's on WWE's radar or not, or just whether they'd have possible plans for her right now. I should, maybe as a second pick for me, I'm actually going to throw out Veda just because I think it's fucking due, at least by the end of the year.
Yeah. I think it would be, if they announced like another Mae Young thing, then it would help out a little bit. If they announced another tournament of any kind, because they haven't repeated a tournament year to year yet. Because I think the Dusty had a split of a year, right? Dusty Classic.
No, I thought they've repeated that every year. I could be wrong, but I want to say they've.
Because I thought AOP won it like in 2016. Let's see here. But who do I think will be signed? So hard because of AOW becoming a more of a homegrown company with just with all the young kids.
AOW Art of Wrestling?
What? AOP. AIW. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's 2:06 at night. 10 minutes from Cleveland time.
And we're about an hour and 20-some minutes away from Akron time.
Who cares?
Me.
I'm so happy for you. Cleveland's butthole. Taint. The butthole's maybe Kent. Something.
No, butthole's Youngstown.
No, because that's like the armpit of Pittsburgh.
But Pittsburgh is like the armpit of America.
Damn it! I was actually right. So results. Wait,
was this year like 2017 the only year they haven't done it?
Yes. So yes, we did go without one this year.
I didn't even realize that.
2015 and 2016. Yeah, AOP won it 2 years ago, or won it. Yeah, a year ago. They won it at Takeover Toronto, so Takeover Survivor Series, and then they haven't done. So then they did Cruiserweight Classic. That was a year ago, right?
That was over a year ago.
So that was 2016 also then, right?
Yeah.
So then,
the UK Classic was almost a year ago.
Yeah, that started. I mean, that's like right now, actually. The UK Classic, yeah.
Yeah.
So they haven't repeated anything back to back because what I'm getting to is that if you had one of those classics, that's how you can pick which way they're going to go on who they would sign, because they usually bulk up after those.
The only thing with the Dusty one, that was pretty much NXT exclusive. Like, at least
that's where Gargano got in.
But what I'm saying is that's where it was shown. They didn't create like a Dusty Classic special such like they did Cruiserweight and like they did Mae Young. Like they made it their own, like its own separate thing. Like,
oh, you're saying the Dusty Classic was included in NXT on the television show rather than a separate entity.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So who would get signed? Yeah, I'm fucked. Because I can't think of anybody that I think Janela's too risky.
Yeah. To
get signed. Maybe Tracy Williams. Maybe Hot Sauce.
Yeah. I figure you got Gulak in there. That's like pretty much his male protege.
Right.
And you already have his female protege in there too. And not saying like Gulak has clout, but it's more or less, if they looked at one, they looked at the other.
I mean, you could go with the whole idea of, I just saw today that, let me find the tweet that I liked earlier. Interesting factoid. Come on. I like too many things on Twitter.
Yep, you do.
Oh yeah, because you see it because you use the basic app, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, get Tweetbot and you won't see that shit. And it's way better.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, anyways, I think like 16 out of the 24 participants at Bola 2014 are now under WWE contract.
Who are the Outcast?
What's that?
Who are the Outcast?
Let's see here. We have these things in front of us called computers, right?
I thought you knew. That's why I asked you.
But you also do too, is what I'm saying. Bullet 2014. I actually have that. Oh, maybe Ray's. No, I don't think he's selling it. Still need somebody to buy to buy 2017's Bola. Okay, so 2014. Gulak, Kyle O'Reilly, Zack Sabre Jr., Adam Cole, Oni Lorcan, Roderick Strong, AJ Styles, Brian Myers. That's one bracket. So out of that, you have one person not signed who did participate in WWE in Zack Sabre.
Yeah.
Then you have Candice, Rich Swann, Chuck Taylor, who's not, Gargano, Elgin, Ciampa, Trevor Lee, Cedric Alexander. So you got Chucky, Elgin, Lee, let's see here. And then Bobby Fish, TJ Perkins, Ricochet, Sabin, Chris Sabin, so that's another one. ACH, Omega, Matt Sydal, and Hero. So yeah, pretty nuts.
And then you'll be adding probably to the not signed by WWE Rich Swann.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're back together, so that's a thing. And Su Young was just at, spoiler, was just at Impact tapings, so there's that. But yeah, what I'm getting to there is that Regal tends to go to PWG shows and especially Bola shows. So let's see here. Out of this year, anybody, Janela was there. I'd really like Cobb to get signed, but I don't know how that deal's going. Pentagon would be amazing, but don't know how that deal's going. Dijak. God, I can't think. Walter would be an amazing signing, but he's signed he's official to Evolve and WXW. So yeah, I'm going with Tracy, but any of the other questions on that show that you wanted me to?
I think the only other question you didn't answer was group or tag team of the year.
Shit, I can't even think. Dead air. I know, I guess production, Colby and Derek. Colby Redden and Derek Director. That's it.
And that kind of goes more towards the production as a whole, but okay.
No, because they were the tag team at first. So before it started really getting huge, they were just a tag. So that's what I'm gonna go with, rather than faction war stuff.
Or are you gonna really like? I think you probably will. The 3-man group of the production: Derek, Colby, and Eddie only.
Yeah, I do like that. Obviously. So. Yep. So on to the show.
So anyway, we have this show that we are supposed to be previewing called Death Row. It is this Friday, January 19th, 2018, 7:30 bell time at Our Lady of Mount Carmel, 1355 West 70th Street, Cleveland, Ohio. And the card that we have announced, I haven't got it finalized, but I think this could possibly be it. If there's one more match that gets announced in the next 24 hours or so, I'm going to be pissed, because John Thorne did not write back to me when I asked if the card was full, and that was Monday. So
yeah, but if he does add anything else, it's gonna be probably a lesser match, as it usually is. That it won't matter, especially with your rule of let's review 3. So I think we do have a solid 3. So
yeah. So we got Malcolm Monroe III versus Jonathan Wolfe, Big Twan Tucker and Parker Pierce versus Weird World, Shane Mercer versus Matthew Justice, 2 versions of the production versus No Consequences, one with Frankie Flynn and Magnum CK versus Chase Oliver and Trey Lamar, the other one being, like we mentioned, Derek Direction, Colby Red, and Eddie Only versus AJ Gray, Joshua Bishop, and Gary the King Baller. We also have a 4-way to determine the number 1 contenders to the AIW Tag Team titles, To Infinity and Beyond versus Dedication Personified versus the PME Experience, or the PM Experience versus the Young Studs. Also have Juice Robinson versus Dominic Greeny, and main event of the evening, Ray Rowe versus Keith Lee. And let's kind of go in the order that I went into of the last 3. We'll talk about the singles match last, but the number 1 contender match for the tag titles, To Infinity and Beyond versus Dedication Personified versus the PM Experience versus the Young Studs. Do we see To Infinity and Beyond once again become the number 1 contenders to the tag team titles? Because this is the closest thing we have to a championship match. No Gage, no Janela, no name. I don't think maybe has been decided yet for PB Smooth and Hornswoggle, and obviously the women's champion is down in Florida. So, yeah.
I certainly fucking hope not. No Infinity Beyond on that one. I hope that the two bad guy teams do not get it. Let's go with that. I'm all down for PME or Young Studs, leaning more towards PME because that'd be a fun match with them versus Swoggle and PB.
I agree, but wouldn't you figure a bad guy team is going to win because of the champions?
Right. Yeah, but Thorne doesn't necessarily give a shit about that, so...
That's true.
And this is called, this is the indie wrestling circuit. I'm not sure if you know that. They, heels and faces aren't really a thing.
Yeah, depending.
So if you think it's the other way, how do you think, if you do think it goes traditional wrestling and you get bad guy, good guy, how do you go?
I mean, I hate to say it, you go into Infinity and Beyond, that adds to their heat. People fucking hate them.
Right.
And then they get another title shot. But the only thing is, if they get a title shot, they have to lose.
I mean, I would hope so. I don't understand why they don't have an automatic rematch.
I think that's the other thing, too. The fact that...
Because Don's certainly had it.
It's true. I look at it as this is how they get from point A to point B. And with this show, which it seems like it was thrown together, I'm not going to say fairly quick, but like they had dates set and then all of a sudden, we're adding this in. It's almost like a Tequila Jack show or a music
like I was saying
show.
earlier, yeah.
Yeah. People didn't know that, but
right.
A lot of students on this show, except for
the top two tags or the top two matches.
Top two matches, and also Mercer versus Justice.
Right.
And then this is halfway students, this tag match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's part of me that can make a case for all four teams to Infinity and Beyond, so they get their rematch. And then the other three, it's just they become number one contenders while To Infinity and Beyond tries to become number one contenders again. Or maybe this leads to their breakup. But I could easily see Dedication Personified going up against PB and Swoggle just as much as PME and the Young Studs.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I just don't see any of those teams winning. So I think we're going to see PB and Hornswoggle for at least a little while. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But there's part of me that just keeps thinking that we're going to see Into Infinity and Beyond win.
Or like they should say something like, "Hey, we're super pissed that we didn't get our automatic rematch," and then they just go really hard and beat the shit out of everybody, and they win it, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you, we did it without you without giving it to us," kind of thing.
Yeah. So you're hoping Dedication Personified wins?
What? No, I hope it's double DQ and they get somehow this is an elimination match and both the heel teams are eliminated and then it's just the good guys shaking each other's hands and then the best man wins. The best team wins. And of course that has to be one of the good guys.
I mean, did we see PME versus Young Studs?
Possibly. Cage.
Yeah, at the last show that you weren't on, I actually had the website up.
I got it up now. How the fuck is Dom not hot linked on this site yet?
I don't know. How old's this site?
Cage match? How old is it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like how old's the site as a whole? As in like how often does someone update?
They have Rulers of the World up there.
I mean, they got that part, but I'm saying though the little intricacies of wrestlers like
Carson has a hot link. Carson has a hot link. Carson has a hot link.
Yeah, Dom doesn't.
Do I need to say anything more? Him being in a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different feds in the last 3 years, as opposed to Dom, he's on the roster for Evolve. That's I mean.
The PME has one too.
Exactly. AJ Gray, but he's been in it for a while. Derek has a hot link. Frankie has a hot link. No PB. Infinity and Beyond as a team has a hot link.
Wow.
Upstate New York, see something ESW. Oh, that Buffalo Fed that I talked about.
Yeah.
See here, matches. That's an easy way to do it.
The match I was thinking it was, and might
Young
not have been.
Studs have one. So you would you say Young Studs and who else?
PME.
And PME? Yeah, they 36 Chronic Chambers, Menor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Menor show.
August.
Yeah.
Boom.
Man, who won that one?
And the Studs went over.
Yep.
So, yep. On to the next match, or more on that?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Because that is the thing that kind of sucks about, like I said, it seems like a lot of these matches are thrown together. Apologies to the production. We're not going to be talking about them in depth, especially when there's two matches, the production versus no consequences.
I mean, I would like to, but the host is a dick, so he's all about not the production. What?
You know that's bullshit.
Also, by you saying the show's been thrown together, I don't. You can look at the booking of the show, and I don't think it's been thrown together at all. Much of it is storyline. So,
well, I mean, I should say thrown together as in, like I said, it seemed like they had their other dates set, and then all of a sudden this kind of came up after they had started planning certain events.
Yeah.
Because I think I was given all the dates up until J-Lit, and already there's been two additions.
Yeah.
This one and the Akron show.
Well, I mean, we could just take the Akron show out. We don't need that show, really. If that's what if you're complaining about it.
Then how are you going to get Swenson's?
I can just go to Independence, like everybody else was saying. Dick. And I don't crave it that much. I'll just go to Five Guys and be okay.
Yeah. I'll go to BurgerFi.
I've had people talk about that, saying it's expensive and meh. But anyways, Juice Robinson and my boy Dominic Gardini.
Is that your way of transitioning into Juice Robinson versus Dominic Gardini?
Oh, I think so.
So you want us to talk about Juice Robinson and Dominic Gardini?
Yeah, sure.
Is this starting to become like big match Dom?
I mean, it's been for a while. If I could click on his fucking cage match, I'd be able to tell you and go through all of his big matches. Actually, I can just go through results. So he beat Ethan. He beat Mance.
Last year too, or was it last year too? Now
beat Ethan again.
It's all starting to blend together, but Zack Sabre Jr.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay.
Or that was 16, I think. Cold as Ice was his last defeat.
That's what I meant by last year. I meant actually 2016.
Rager, I think Andy and him beat one Mance. He beat MJF and Menor.
He had the feud with Whitmer.
He had to beat the Duke at EBSO. He beat Myron Reed in Menor. Back to the Future Cup. I think it wasn't even on that. J-Lit. He did decent in J-Lit. Wow, it's really hard to read that. He beat Guido in J-Lit day one. And then he lost to Tracy in the semis. He lost to Probo at the next episode in a 4-way. Beat Jimmy Rave. Menor. He's undefeated at Menor, I think. Beat BJ at Gauntlet.
Lost to Derek and Gregory Iron at Warped Tour.
Okay. I wasn't there. Where's he at here?
Well, it doesn't help that Dom wasn't used as much for a brief period of time.
How is he not on Walk the Plank? He wasn't on Walk the Plank. That's the thing. I mean, I think he showed up to do something or interfered with something.
Yeah.
And that led to BJ or something. Yeah, BJ and Tolar, so he probably interfered in that match. Jelly of the Month, he lost to BJ. So he only had one loss last year. One true, I guess J-Lit. Hell on Earth 12, he lost to Zach, which was 2016.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But still, as of late, I mean, granted, it kind of goes back with, Zack Sabre Jr., but still, it's kind of, do we get someone in and goes against Dom?
Yep, because he's legit. And
I'm excited for Juice Robinson. When he was in WWE, I didn't care as much about him. And then to see all his progress from what I've got a chance to watch in New Japan, I've enjoyed him a lot more there.
Yeah, same here. I'm not a fan of the that group that he was in. What was it called? The green dude, Finn's old tag partner that does the flying asshole. Taichi? No.
I know who you're fucking talking about.
Come on, you're the New Japan, Mark. You have all the gear. Come on. Fuck?
I have Bullet Club gear. There's a difference. Kinda.
Yeah. The Bullet Club was started based off of beating the shit out of this guy. You fucking Mark. Come on.
I know. Actually, I know that, and I like this guy because.
Yeah. Not enough. You fuck. You don't like him enough.
I like him because the matches that I remember watching of him last year, he would always mock somebody in the that he was his opponent. Like I remember seeing he dressed up like as evil. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, then what the fuck's his name? Dickbag. Oh, where the heck? When did Dom debut in AIW?
I don't want to throw out a wrong name because I'll fucking butcher the fuck out of it.
6-way scramble. Fullest House was Dom's first AIW match. Did he really? That was it? Yep.
Taguchi.
That's it.
That's what I thought it was, and I'm like, I need to look this up because I don't want to fucking say it. And then it turns out it's nowhere near. Yeah, Taguchi, which I like Taguchi.
Taguchi Japan, right? Wasn't that the faction? I think so.
Sure.
That Ricochet was in and him. Yeah, Taguchi Japan. There you go. Yeah. So balls. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Everybody hated him when he was in NXT, but I really liked the gimmick. I loved it. It was hilarious that people would get pissed off at it. So yeah, I like his stuff in NXT even more almost. Besides him being pretty fucking good this year in G1. So. And I loved how somebody said about the palm strike, the Kevin Owens palm strike that happened and bleeding his Dom's face. And Dom's like, bring it on. I'm all about it. So I'm sure they'll do a spot with that.
I don't know if there's anybody else in AIW that I could see Juice Robinson going up against.
Tracy. I could see Tracy. I could see Filthy. Just the strong style guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it's because it's cool seeing a guy like Dom get these opportunities, just like with a couple years ago with Zack Sabre Jr.
Right. I mean, he is the one that's doing the most out of the company. So
yeah. Because what he has, I never want to call it the gimmick, but what his quote character in the ring is, I want to say the best. You know what I mean? Yeah, as in because it's
1,000% him.
It's him. It's real, and I'm talking about he's actually he practices Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's
the jiu-jitsu player.
Yeah.
It is true.
And if he doesn't win J-Lit, I think there's no reason why he shouldn't become Intense champion at the very least.
Yeah, I can see that. And I also do think that he wins this, and I hope he wins this. What do you think?
It's one of those things I think I can make an argument either way. Let's see Dom get the win, but at the same time, Dom could still look good in a loss to Juice Robinson.
But why would you beat him?
Same thing with Zack Sabre Jr. Maybe more.
Yeah, but he was on the come up there, and he got the rub. He got the rub against Zack, who I even put ahead of. I put Zack ahead of anywhere that Juice has been, or any type of level that Juice has been. Just because he's dominant but coming into that match, he was dominant in Noah and in Progress and Rev Pro and stuff. So I don't see why you would not put him over, because I don't think we'll really see Juice back unless somehow he's awesome to hang out at the bar with.
Do you think, or should I say, would you be upset if Juice were to win?
Yeah, because Dom's on a winning streak. He, like I said, the last time he lost was to Filthy in September, cold as ice. So he's on a 1-2-3 match winning streak, and that was one of 2 losses all last year. So yes, I would be upset.
I mean, it doesn't help either that his last 2 matches were against Ethan Page, and Ethan Page is about to disappear for a couple months on AIW. So that made a lot of sense for Dom to win. And then it's not going to hurt Ethan Page, because if he comes back, no one's going to freaking remember.
Right. So yeah, Dom over.
I'm just going to be different, and I'm going to say Juice.
Cool. You puro Mark. Okay.
Why
don't you just call yourself Ichiban Heavy? Wait, there is one of those.
Yeah, I was about to say there kind of is.
Yeah, well, not quite drunk, but definitely. I don't know. So yeah,
All right.
it's cool. I'll just take on the Suzuki thing, and I'll just beat the shit out of everybody. Shave my hair. Wait.
Yeah, I was
no.
about to say shave your head.
No.
I just-
Although I am still pissed that there's like no Suzuki merch anywhere. I've found like 3 shirts and they all suck. And they're old.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You best guy. Anyways.
They do have one of the best themes in New Japan.
Yeah, they have a great theme and he has an amazing theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on to the main. Kind of main.
Keith Lee versus Raymond Rowe.
Yep, pretty stoked. Last time we saw Keith Lee, it was at WrestleMania weekend, which I still need to revisit those matches.
I forget which one was he at?
He was on Evolve.
He was on Evolve, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he do?
He might have had like a Dijak, and then I know that he had like a Leo Rush the night before, I think.
He didn't do WrestleCon Super Show, did he? Because there was just so many motherfuckers there. I can't remember. Because they had that one Rumble match and shit. And there was the Ricochet versus Ospreay tag. Like what was it? 6-man? Not 6-man, but 12-man. 10-man. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Fuck. Yeah, I know you were there.
Oh yeah, we sat together. Yeah, the end. Fuck you. What?
And you were late for the other show that didn't even start on time.
Yeah, but I still missed like an hour because they had to have Sandman's entrance go half an hour.
Oh yeah.
And then they had that horrible, pointless Brian Cage, Johnny, whatever.
Oh yeah, that match was
tables match that went on for fucking ever.
It's just like hurry.
Nobody gave a fuck.
It was like just hurry up and get to the main event. We want to see freaking.
Like I gotta get over to what was it called? I'm brain farting.
Big Battle.
Yeah, Kaiju. Yeah. Yeah. Keith Lee beat Dijak on the 31st, and then Keith Lee at the Super Show, at the WWN Super Show, defeated Austin Theory and Blaster Massive and Jason Cade, and he was at Beyond at the Midnight Show where he beat Cobb. Ooh, that would have been good. And then he was at the FIP Broken Tailgate where he lost in a match. And then let's see here. What's the night before? Oh, there was a Keith Lee Ricochet match. That was it. And Keith Lee Leo Rush at Joey Janela. So yeah, he had that weekend. He had 6 matches. I think somebody had like 8 matches that weekend. So yeah, I'm looking really forward to this match. And what would Derek Direction call this match? What term would he give it?
Derek Direction or Ed from Pod Van Dam?
Derek's taken kind to the term.
Battle of the Burleys.
Yep, Burley Boy match.
Burley Boy, or fucking Reese has a term for it too. I can't remember. Not Burley. It was I lost what it was. I think I mentioned it.
Not Haas.
Not Haas.
Okay.
Oh, looking up old Keith Lee matches on Cage Match. And March 13th, 2015, Raymond Rowe defeats Keith Lee, LSCW, in Cypress, Texas.
Yeah, I was going to say Texas. That makes sense. Because that's where, I think that's the origins of, Keith Lee and Shane Taylor was down there. And then, obviously, Ray and Shane are running buddies, so... Excuse me.
Is this the first time Keith Lee has been in AIW?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let's see. Career, I'll double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yep. I don't even know if he's been in Ohio. I mean, maybe for Ring of Honor or something. Texas, Mass, New York. So it wasn't that year. Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma. Riveting Radio. Yeah, I think this is the first time he's really wrestled in Ohio, from the looks of it. That makes sense. Yeah. I hear there's a really good match he had, the Ishii and Keith Lee match from Rev Pro Global Wars 2017 on November 9th was really, really good. And the finish was amazing because it was a suplex. Just a regular vertical suplex, which in Japan is called a brainbuster. And that was the finish. So yeah, what do you want to talk about this match?
I don't know, main event, Ray Rowe's last match.
Well, there's no use of putting over Keith Lee. Usually put somebody over on the way out, but I don't see Keith Lee really coming back.
Is there a way that this match could turn into, as much as you don't want me to reference it, but Candice LeRae versus Johnny Arcano?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, where somebody got put over that's not even around anymore?
Just not in AIW anymore. They're technically still around.
If they're not in one of the top companies, are they really around? Oh, I guess they are in Chicago sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But then if it's somebody comes out for the heel heat, is that person the dumbest person in the world where he enters himself into a match versus Keith Lee and Ray Rowe? Let's think about that.
Before I forget, I looked up said wrestler, and they have a hyperlink.
Well, yeah, I mean, he did travel a lot, so yeah, there's that. I don't know. We gotta write up a email and translate it to German and send it to Cage Match, and then maybe it'll happen. Because they are in German. So yeah. So who would you put in if you're proposing that?
As a joke, I almost want to say Kaplan, but
okay,
no.
that would work.
But which one of and if he wasn't already in a match, I'd say AJ Gray.
Okay. Somehow Filthy Tom flies out and we don't know. Because yeah, he doesn't have anything. I mean, I was kind of surprised that he wasn't on this. Kind of bummed, obviously, since it is a Mount Carmel show and he hasn't missed a Mount Carmel show yet. That'd be amazing. Just throw Filthy in.
What I was kind of thinking. What if this turned into a tag match?
Okay, I could see that. It kind of pissed me off, much like but Thorne likes to do so, inadvertently or not. Kind of like the Andy Williams and Dom Guarini Brawl for All turned into a tag.
I was actually thinking of a different kind of tag. I was thinking, which I think the only way this would be done is if it was advertised, but if it turned into both of their tag team partners happen to be there too.
I see. But who's Keith Lee's tag? Who's his tag partner?
Didn't he tag with... I could be wrong. I could be mixing them up. Didn't he tag with Shane Taylor?
Yeah, that's what I
said
said earlier.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, that's an expensive tag team match then.
To be unadvertised.
To be unadvertised, bringing in him and Hanson. A little expensive there.
I want Hanson. Maybe because he looks like a long...
Because you're a New Japan mark? Yes, we know this.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact...
Bullshit!
He's okay, in the words of Derek Direction and Ed from Pod Van Dam, he's a big burly bastard, and he has a red beard.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Do I like Eric Rowan too? Yes, I do.
Of course. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you? Sami Zayn?
He's not fat.
This is true, but he does have a red beard. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I just think that's too expensive to do up.
It definitely is, but I wonder why they've never booked War Machine together. Maybe it's just because Ray Rowe costs X amount, but getting them both costs way more.
That's how I would look at it.
Like way more.
I'm actually looking at something. What was I looking up? Fuck.
Was it a Dominic Greeny hyperlink?
Nope, because that doesn't exist. Shit. Oh yeah, that was it. I mean, I have seen War Machine wrestle, so I'm good. Did you not go to, I know we bring this up a lot, but did you not go to Columbus for ROH?
No, because ROH was the same day as the Dustin Batdorf Invitational, and I went to that instead. Because I knew about that before. And I
as the what?
The charity show in Canton.
Okay, that's the only way you get out of me ridiculing you. It's because of the charity show.
Yeah.
Not that, and also it doesn't matter because they were not on the show. I was gonna say War Machine was on the Columbus show, but they were not. They were on the Pittsburgh show the night before that I was at. And
I wanted to go to one of those shows because of Suzuki, because of Omega, and because I didn't get the rightful chance at Supercard of Honor, Marty Scurll.
Mm-hmm.
I was so pissed because maybe I've mentioned it before on here, but they had like him the same block as the Hardys, the Bucks, Gorillas, couple other people. Oh, and Cody. There was a long line for the Hardys, long line for the Bucks, not so long line for Cody. I had no line for Gorillas, but by the time I got to that area, like, Marty was gone because he was the first match. I'm like, really? I want to fucking meet Marty.
You could have went to more shows at Orlando at Oli and met, and they were there leading into, I think, a Chikara show or something after one of the WWN shows. Because I met all of Mustache Mountain and Marty were all there, I think. They were setting up merch. And I apologize to Dunn for making fun of his acne at AIW back in the day. I'm like, I was an asshole chanting acne jokes at you. I'm sorry. You're fucking amazing. Were you at one of those shows?
Yeah, I remember the first show, him versus Andrews. Yeah,
that's the one. Because I wasn't at Double Dare where they were a tag, I think, right? Yeah, I wasn't at that.
I know, going back to WrestleMania weekend, I was, I think, leaving WrestleCon, and I walked by Marty. Because obviously, he not necessarily sticks out, but even just regular clothes, like, you could walk past him, and you're like, that's
he does
fucking...
the opposite of stick out, because he's so short.
But I'm saying if you walk past him, you're going to go, oh, that's fucking Marty Scurll.
Well, yeah, he's a short dude with a beard, and he's probably wearing very nice clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sticks out.
Of course, that was actually the funny thing, too, because... Like, I forget, did you go to WrestleCon at all?
Yes, I went to the Super Show. That was it.
Well, I'm talking about the actual WrestleCon itself. Because it's crazy, like, how many wrestlers were just walking around there. Because I want to say I walked by Rich Swann. And, like, they're all trying to keep low profiles.
Yeah. Well, I know Swann was at, like... some he was at some WWN show late at night. He had to get snuck in or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then Heidi was at, or now Ruby Riott was at, was it Evolve or Progress? I want to say Evolve because I wasn't paying attention much to anybody else at Progress because how fucking packed that show was. Mm-hmm. But obviously Evolve was a lot less people, and I think that's where I remember seeing Ruby.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So cool. So yeah, what do you think happens?
I kind of want to say, I mean, if it's down between these two, it's Keith Lee winning, but there has to be a swerve.
And not Shane Strickland? As an interesting thing of history, I think Ray Rowe bookmarks with wins for AIW. His first AIW show, maybe it was the first ever show? Let's go with the events. Nope, the second one. At AIW, it's on again. Raymond Road defeated Michael Hutter at Seven Hills at the whatever Founders Day or whatever thing that they used to run. So yeah, that's interesting. I go with he otherwise, unless some schmoz happens and somehow somebody else gets into it. I say you have Dom be a badass and come out and want to do it, and Dom somehow goes over because he's the only one, in my opinion, worth. Let me double check. Getting that rub. He's the only one that's officially on the show that's worth getting the rub. What do you think about that?
I think I can agree with that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, really. I said looking at
the debut show, AIW Absolute debut. Hutter beat who in a match? This is hilarious.
Who?
He beat Thorne. That's amazing. Who was Dominic Justice? I think I've heard that name before. Main event was Dio Salvador versus Provo. That's hilarious. So anything else on this?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. Super stoked for all the signees today with your Ricochet and War Machine and Candace finally. The Pants and the Gargano family. I'm stoked on more signings to come, hopefully. So, and interested in whatever's coming up on the Akron show too, and how that will be done. What are you looking up?
I was just pulling up some of my notes to close out the show, but before we get to the point of closing the show, because technically we do got to go through everything and make picks.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it up.
I'll start where we originally started. Malcolm Monroe III versus Jonathan Wolfe.
Don't care, but I'll go with Malcolm.
I'll go with Malcolm, too.
I can't stand Jonathan Wolfe's photo. It just makes me mad. Next match is Weird World versus Twan Tucker and Pickle Pierce. I'm going with Weird World. What a surprise. You?
I'll agree. Weird World. Shane.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're really trying to get off here. Shane Mercer versus Matthew Justice. I'm gonna go Mercer.
I'll go Mercer if he's sticking around. Otherwise, Justice. And no, I'm not trying to get off real quick. The monster's probably kicking in.
Okay. Production versus No Consequences #1 match. Frankie Flynn and Magnum CK versus Trey Lamar and Chase Oliver. I think I'll go the production.
I'm also going production just because the head of the production and the big man in the production are in it, and No Consequences is kind of their smallest guys. Or it is. No, it is. There's straight up.
No,
besides Gary. Yeah.
And then the other production versus No Consequences. Derek Director, Colby Red, Eddie Only versus AJ Gray, Joshua Bishop, and Gary the King Baller. Going with just because they do have the bigger guys. I'm going to go with No Consequences.
I'm also going with it just to even it out, and because I would really like the production to win, and I figure that that's not going to happen.
Fucking 50-50 booking bullshit.
Yep. And then we already went over the other ones, where I hope that PME goes over, and you for the #1.
To throw it out, the To Infinity and Beyond versus Dedication Personified versus PME versus the Young Studs. I'm going to Infinity and Beyond.
I'm sorry. PME.
Juice Robinson versus Dominic Guarini. You said Dom, and I said Juice to be different, and you called me a Puro Mark.
Yep.
And Keith...
I hope Juice is going for the palm strike with Dom against the guardrails, and Dom ducks and hits you right in the face. And you go hard way, just like, and you're wearing a Kevin Owens duct tape shirt, and you go hard way. That's what you had to do. That just wear your duct tape shirt and just coax them. Just stand ringside. You go, come on, and do how you dressed up for Halloween like 2 years ago with the wrapped around the tape around your hands, and go, come on, do me. Oh fuck. So yeah, Dom goes over in that for me.
I'll be wearing my wrestling chair stuff. So
yeah, you'll be the one.
And I just wore that Kevin Owens shirt the other day.
Of course you did.
Hashtag T-shirt of the day.
Fuck off.
No, I got a friend who did it, and last year he wore 172 shirts. So my goal is to reach 173, and if I go one a day, which actually started on the 2nd, I'll make it. It'll take me like June 23rd.
So it doesn't count because you started on the 2nd.
No, I'm just trying to beat his number.
Uh-huh. You could just wear a t-shirt every day, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, but I'm going to wear like repeats.
Uh-huh.
Like at show days, I wear wrestling chairs one, which I haven't used that one yet, and there's will be like I wear my Bullet Club stuff a lot.
No way.
Yeah.
You're all over there nuts like I was the NWO in 96. I get it.
Oh, wait for about a month and the episode I have coming out where me and someone talk about Bullet Club and NWO, and I say Bullet Club is better than NWO, and he agreed.
That's cute. I'm sure that they were barely around when the NWO was actually around too, from who I saw you were talking to. Well, unless it's some of these guys I don't know. Do I know this person?
I don't know.
Okay, so then I don't know them if you said that.
I mean, they go to AIW shows. They're not a wrestler, so they don't work for AIW, so that's the third person.
Yeah, so there's that. So yeah,
Keith Lee
Ray
versus Ray Rowe.
Ray, unless some other shenanigans happen, and then mystery opponent goes over.
I'll go Keith Lee between the two. Then yeah, I'll agree with you. Mystery opponent, depending on what happens after that.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Any final thoughts or last minute plugs?
Nope. Just my normal plugs. Hit up my website, Set Tab Photo. That is SETTAB photo.com. It is also Set Tab Photos. Also my Instagram and one of my Twitter accounts, and my main Twitter account is Ed Battis, EDBATTES. That's Bates, but with 2 T's.
And all those will be in the show notes as always. And Instagram post if you're looking at it, Twitter post if you're looking at it, or you can find it.
Or you can just wait for all the guys to, after I take photos that night, to send them out on their social medias. Shout out to Trey Lamar, actually, for posting my stuff quite often and tagging me like a nice boy.
Yeah, granted, I don't do your level, but I kind of get pissed when I don't get credit for stuff. And they don't have to credit my personal stuff, like my personal account. Like, don't. Wrestling Cheers. Why I do it. And then I'm noticing, too, some of them put it as comment. And I'm like, no, you put it as a fucking caption.
Yep. And goodbye, Ultraviolet. Yep. Yeah, just don't get super cunty. Like even though he's my boy James Vandy gets really bitchy, and so does Ryan Santon, but he gets cunty quite often. But I don't know, he does good work otherwise.
I don't get too cunty. I just say something or it's like, hey, how about a photo credit?
Yeah, same.
And of course, you can find me at HeavySet330 on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. We got merch at whatamaneuver.net, and please check out all of our friends, especially here on the Trading Topics Network, such as All Beer Inside, What's on Fight, Eurovision Showcase, Legends on Siren Radio, Old School at the Movies, TTN at the Movies, View from the Fourth Row, and Chill, and the new podcast, the 450 podcast. Check out some of our friends such as Macho Men Radio, Chris Clem's Cavscast, Wingcast, a Wingman podcast with Steve Guy, Let the Hate Flow Through You with Jeremy Shear and El Hordano Diablo, Pod Van Dam, The Road Home from Wrestling, Moy Boy Designs, Weekly Wrestling Podcast, Thrift Store Jobber, Rebel Life Media, and NEO Sports Insiders. Once again, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. That will do it for us here on Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, and too sweet me, bro.
Douche.
Later.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.